Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Streamer Showdown Neon Destiny Draft Tournament Finals. In this tournament, it is me versus Ben Stark, After Office TTV, Kyle Rose, Seth Manfield, Sam Black, Deathsy, and Reed Duke. Stacked pod. This is how I imagine it must be at a pro tour or something when you're playing, and overall, it's just going to be a total blast. It's a double elimination tournament, so if you lose the first round, you get a second shot at the apple, and it's like a cool bracket system. I'll show you the bracket a little bit later. But yeah, but if you do enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more draft content, comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Kaito Shizuki. You can loot. You can create a ninja. I think Kaito's pretty good. He's a gold card, but I think he's pretty strong. He just draws you an extra card every turn, potentially. There's also the Rabbit Bunny, Twisted Embrace. I think Twisted Embrace would be my next pick out of the pack, but I'm going to try taking Kaito. We'll see how it works out. We might not be able to play that specific color combination, but I think Kaito's strong enough that if I do end up getting to play blue-black, he'll be worth it. Okay, here there's a Gloom Shrieker. Pretty powerful card. There's also Boseiju Reaches Skyward, a card that I've been pretty impressed by. There's Go Shintai, the Shrine of Shared Purpose, which actually has been more impressive than I thought it would be. There's not a good follow-up to the Kaito. There's not a good blue or black card in this pack. There's a black, green, gold card, and there's a green card that I like, and then there's the Go Shintai, which I don't really want to take unless I have other shrines to go with it. So tough follow-up pick. The Synthesizer's good in certain decks. I think it's between the Gloom Shrieker and the Boseiju. Both of them would require me kind of giving up on this Kaito, though I could always splash Kaito in a like black-green deck. But I think I'm just going to take the Boseiju. It's tough, though. Okay. So now we get a kind of decent follow-up to the Kaito in the Moon Circuit Hacker. I think that's a pretty good card. I'm going to hover it for now, because I would still like to play Kaito. There's also this Takenuma, Abandoned Mire, which I know Ben Stark would probably take out of this pack, because he loves these lands. And it is a pretty good card. I think I might be putting him into black-green, but I'm still just going to be reading the signals I get past. There's Tales of Master Sashiro, which I think is a little bit slower than I'd like. Moon Circuit Hacker's pretty solid. There's a couple of green cards in this pack. I like Fade, Tails, and Fang. I also like this Takenuma. Takenuma might just be better than Moon Circuit Hacker. I'm just going to take Takenuma. I could end up in black, green, blue, black. A lot of directions. It's just such a powerful card. Okay. I don't think blue is particularly open. I just don't want to force my draft off a cliff for a first pick gold card that I'm not super highly likelihood to play. Okay. Weak pack here. There is Okiba Salvage, which isn't great. There's Kami of Terrible Secrets, which can do good work in the right shell. Aki Ember Keeper, Reinforced Ronin, Moonsnare Prototype is fine. Between Prototype and the Kami, I think. I just don't like these other cards. The Ronin's not good. The Salvage isn't good. The Artificer's not good. Safekeeping's a potential option, I guess. But I think the Kami's just the highest upside pick here. Now there's a Fade into Antiquity. There's also a Flame Discharge. The fact that I passed a black-green gold card is kind of bothersome, and I passed a good black card. I could still splash this Kaito. I think Fade is a main deckable card. Flame Discharge is fine. Hotshot Mechanic's fine. I think I'm just going to take Fade. I think it's the best card by a lot. I could splash Kaito in a black-green deck. It's just good interaction. Still early days of the draft. I think this draft, if I had known this exact position, I would still be relatively happy. Obviously, I would rather have a Twisted Embrace than the Kaito, given this current position, but I can't always splash Kaito. And it can take over a game on its own sometimes. Tanuki's great for splash enabling. Getting one pick 6 maybe is a signal. We're seeing some red. Blue-red card. Kami's not particularly high upside for me. But I like the Tanuki. Can potentially help me play this potential Sultai deck. I don't like playing a hyper-aggressive deck in these sorts of pods because aggro gets a lot worse. Because you can't leverage combat tricks effectively when they know exactly what's in your deck. Tanuki's the best card in this pack, I think. Mechanaut's second best, but I'm not very close to playing Mechanaut. I am feeling pretty happy about this Takunama pick that I have made over the blue card, though. I'm glad I stayed non-committal. Okay. I think I just take the trainee to get a 2-drop. I don't have any 2-drops right now. The Story Weave, as I said, gets a lot worse. They're not going to block into the Story Weave. They're not going to play into it. The Mukatai Ambusher is also a card I'm not super high on here. I just want to get a 2-drop so I can stabilize and get to my late game. I already have 2 good late game cards. Kami of Terrible Secrets in black-green isn't as good, but I can maybe find some artifacts. If I splash into blue, the trainee is just a solid 2-drop. And green is looking like the most open color. I could still move away from black. And trainee blocking as a 3/3 is certainly relevant. Okay, Legend Rule doesn't apply. So again, the Kami is not really a card I'm in the market for. I do like Network Terminal as a ramp enabler. I don't have the artifacts to maybe loot with it as much, though, so maybe that's not as good for my deck in particular. I'm not taking the Mirror Box. I could take Clawing Torment or the Bamboo Grove Archer. I think those are the main 2 picks. I'm not a huge fan of the Archer because it can't attack. I'm going to take the Clawing Torment for the sideboard. Grafted Growth. I can side it in the right matchup or potentially main deck it if I feel like I need a little bit of extra interaction. There's a lot of 1 toughness creatures. The Grove Archer is just a little bit weak because it can't attack, so I can't punish any slow starts from my opponents. So this is the wheel. So we wield a decent green card, Imperial Oath, Armguard Familiar. So there is another black-green drafter at the table. I'm going to take the hot shot mechanic. Maybe I can shift into green-white. To avoid the black drafter, and then maybe splash black. Kami's not particularly a good prize. That card's thing. So I basically only know I'm green right now. The combo. I'll take the Centipede. I could still play black. Just because the black-green gold card didn't wheel doesn't mean that I can't draft black-green. Could just be the best cards for my seat as well. I don't think red is open, even though we've been seeing some red cards. Late Moonsnare prototype. We'll just take the Tameo safekeeping, though. It's a fine option. Having 1 in the deck can make your opponents play differently, or I could always side it in, so my opponents don't know if I have it, because it is open deck list. I don't like the Sentinel. I'll just take the Shattered State Zero. Get a couple of Shattered State Zero here. Okay, what do we have here? Nothing too powerful. I like Walking Skyscraper a decent amount. It's not that hard to ramp into it, and then it can like really just take over a game. Also, if I play black-green, I'm going to have some counter synergies, probably. Touch of the Spirit Realm, if I wanted to try and get into white-green. I have a few artifacts, so maybe this thing's getting more playable because I have the Chain Flail Centipede now. I think black-green is still probably my best bet. We'll see how this pack develops. And I do have the tools to splash with a Greater Tanuki and a Grafted Growth, so I can splash anything super powerful that I see. Taking the Skyscraper after that, I think I would take either the Trainee or the Touch of the Spirit Realm as splash options. I just like the Skyscraper a lot. I think it's not that hard to cast it for like 6 or 7. At that point, it's just a game-ending card. Okay, so we're getting past Seismic Wave, Scrap Welder. I'm going to hover the Preserver, but I'm going to consider heavily taking this Naomi. It's a black-white card, so I would have to double splash it, or I would have to splash white. I don't have the artifacts to support it, I don't think. I'm just going to take the Preserver as a kind of combat trick, kind of just solid creature. Lethal Exploit would be fine removal. Seismic Wave can do good stuff as well. We did get those late Shattered States here, but I still think I'm most likely to be black-green. I'm just going to stick to green, though, because I know I'm going to play all my green cards, and I want to make sure I make playables with solid cards up and down the curve. Also, Preserver works well with the Skyscraper, so this is a fine second pick. Uncommon is missing out of this pack, so it's not a huge indication of what Ben is playing. Okay, this could be an indication of what Ben is playing. He's not playing black, it doesn't look like. There's Dockside Chef, which can be good, but not in my deck because I don't have creatures to sack to it. There is Coiling Stalker, which can put counters on stuff if I have cheap attackers, which I don't. There's Reckoner Raid, which is more of an aggro card because you don't really care about a 2/2 menace on a 3-turn delay, even if it does gain you some life. But I think Leech Gauntlet could be really good for my deck. Unforgiving One's fine as well, but I think Leech Gauntlet's good also because the more artifacts I get, the more likely I can play this Kami of Terrible Secrets, which is nice, and it can just be put onto like my Walking Skyscraper. So I think Leech Gauntlet's the pick here. Dockside Chef has been pretty impressive in some of the games I've seen, but I don't have fodder for it. Yeah, let's do it. This could be a good pack for me. Takuchi Silencer is a powerful card, but I'd rather have Twisted Embrace here as just a removal spell. Greater Tanuki is also an option in case I wanted to move back away. But I think I'm just going to commit to black at this point. Because I do want removal, and I currently don't have any. Tanuki's nice, but I think Twisted Embrace is more important for me. It's also a modified card. And I know it's pack 2, but pack 2 is a good time to commit. We can still be open to splashing because we have Grafted Growth and Tanuki. But maybe it's not till a little bit farther down the table that the black-green drafter is. Tanuki, it's fine, but yeah, I think we're going to take Twisted Embrace. Dragon Kami Reborn is not playable. Getting another Greater Tanuki is nice, though. Commune with Spirits can be good. You can get an enchantment or land, and I have a few solid enchantments, but I'm just going to take the Tanuki. Keeps me open to splashing still. Try to get a dominant hold on green for pack 3, maybe. Have a couple good 2-drops. Chainflow Centipede would not be in my ideal version of the deck. Dragon Kami Reborn is just not playable. So I've got 2 Tanukis at the top end. Got Grafted Growth, so I've got good fixing, so I could splash a card easily. I don't really want to splash Kaito, because it's more powerful on turn 3 than anything else. But we'll see what we open pack 3 and stuff. Or get past pack 3. Nice pickup here of a land. I'm just going to take it. The Inkrise Infiltrator is fine sometimes, but getting a land here just makes my mana a lot more smooth. And the life gain can be nice attached to a gain land, and it can make my splash more feasible. Because I think if I didn't splash with this, I might be leaving some value on the table. So I might just try to splash Kaito as a backup plan. But probably, because you can just play Kaito, make a 1/1, plus at the next turn, draw a card. So like a 3-mana 1/1 that draws a card and has to be dealt with. So like, at the bare minimum, it's still going to be a solid card. Easy jungle hollow, though. And I have this Takenuma, so my lands are pretty good. I've got a little bit of interaction. Season of Renewal is a pretty good grindy card. There is a Naomi, but I don't have enough artifacts to support it consistently. Like, I'm barely able to play this Kami, and this card's really bad if you don't enable it. There's also Grafted Growth, but I already have one of those, and I really want a Season of Renewal to just give me extra late game. Getting back a Tanuki and another enchantment would be really good. Like a lot of my creatures are enchantment creatures, so I'm going to be able to get back stuff like my Twisted Embrace or things of that nature. So Season of Renewal is a good pickup. I could see opening like the big turtle and splashing that pretty happily as well. I don't think I ever really want to play multiple Grafted Growths in this format. Okay, I'm going to take the Dismal Backwater. It's going to help me enable a blue splash potentially. Nothing else that's even close in that pack. So going into pack 3, I think my deck is solid. It's nothing exceptional, but it's got some powerful cards, and I think green is open at the very least from this direction, and so I can get some good synergies going. I don't really think I'm ever playing Reckoner Shakedown, even out of the sideboard. Just think it's going to hurt my win rate more to do that, so I'm just going to take the land. Could hurt somebody's mana, or just, yeah. I don't mind passing these cards, telling people these colors are open. Because none of them are green. If there was even a marginal green card in that pack, I would have taken it just so that nobody gets any green cards but me. So Automated Artificer doesn't do anything for me. I'll take Reckoner's Bargain. It can be good out of the sideboard sometimes, depending on the matchup. If they have a couple of like removal spells that are enchantments. I can't play the Mirror Shell Crab off of a double splash. I'm not really planning on splashing that heavily. Wow, Dockside Chef came back. Interesting. So lots of black cards. I'm not going to play the Mukotai Ambusher, hoping not to play the Centipede. I already have one of those, so I'll take the Chef. Chef opens up a whole lot of opportunities. Black might be more open than I anticipated if all of those cards wheeled. Take Ambusher now. Hope not to play it. Hope not to play the Kami either. Currently not playing Chef, Torment, Centipede. I'm going to need a good pack 3, but I have 12 cards here, and I have a decent amount of like potential playables in the sideboard. So Undercity Scrounger can be an artifact creature to enable some of those synergies. Also just a 1/4 blocker, and also as a ramp card. I think it's better than the Emergence. And it works well with the Chef. I'm going to take the Repel the Vile so nobody has access to that in their sideboard, potentially to wreck me. Chef does work well with some of the cards I've got. And Nashi Moonsage's Scion. What else is in this pack? There's another Leech Gauntlet. Fall of Lord Conda. Nashi's a way to just take over a game. There's also Leech Gauntlet. Playing this on turn 3 is just terrifying for opponents, though. Between that and Leech Gauntlet, I already have one Leech Gauntlet. Leech Gauntlet is another artifact to enable some of my stuff, but I don't really want to play against Nashi either. And I think it's a pretty powerful card for 4 mana. Really makes my opponent want to block, which can make a card like Tamiyo's Safekeeping better. Hitting a Tanuki or a Walking Skyscraper is a bit expensive on the life total, but... Hmm. Mm-hmm. I could play Kaito. There's also a Silencer in this pack. Just feels very greedy. I'm just going to take the Takuchi Silencer. Maybe I'll wield the Scrounger. I just can't enable this very well. And Silencer's already a fine prize as a ninja and a 2-drop. Yes, let's go. I'll take the Gloom Shrieker. I'm not going to bank on it wheeling. And that plays well with my Nashi and my Silencer. I'm not contesting that Satoru is great. It's just much worse off the splash when you're splashing a card, you have to think about how good is it going to be to draw and not be able to cast it until turn 7. And it's not really that good on turn 7 because you already have all your cards in play, and yeah. Take the Gloom Shrieker here. So my deck is really coming together this last pack. Hmm. This is a bad pack. I don't like the Blade Blesser. I'm going to be able to make playables, but I'll just take this. There's still a slight chance that I want to like side in a Repel or something for the right matchup. Yeah, this is not the draft I was hoping for as just like the most powerful. I've got some good stuff going on. Ninja's Kunai. It's an artifact. Maybe makes it more likely that I can play the Kami. Also just like removal. I already have 1 season of renewal. I don't think I can play 2. It's just too slow. This is just the definition of a medium deck. It can probably like about average for the field, maybe a little bit. Oh my gosh, that was a good pickup. Spinning wheel kick is also interesting. I'd rather just take Tales of Master Sashiro. I think this card's a little bit clunky and expensive. Lethal Exploit's kind of hard to use, but being able to power up my creatures with vigilance and stuff is quite nice. Spinning wheel kick I have. For removal, I've got that as interaction. Maybe I just have to take the spinning wheel kick to have some semblance of removal. I think this is just very expensive and clunky, kind of. Sashiro's kind of like that. Naomi. I could splash white for Naomi. It's either that or You Are Already Dead. You Are Already Dead works with, like, the threat of my ninjas pretty effectively. Yeah, I'll just take the You Are Already Dead. I'm not taking Goshintai. I don't have any other shrines, and putting a counter on it every turn is just way too slow. Ingress Infiltrator to enable my Nashi and my Silencer is decent, I think. It's not the greatest card I could have, but it's probably better than my other options. Don't think this card's really that good. It's an evasive creature I can put counters on or something. Turn a ninja. I have 1, 2, 3 ninjas. I'll just take the season in case I need it for the sideboarded games that are more grindy. Could also play the Mukotai Ambusher. So this Kami is getting a lot better because I do have some ways to make artifacts now. I think I'm going to splash Kaito. Because I do have some pretty powerful ninjas to enable now. Wow, this is a tough pick. There's a Greater Tanuki and there's also a Searchlight Companion. And Searchlight Companion works really well with like my ninja stuff, or it works decently with them. I'm just going to take the Tanuki though. Tanuki's a gift. Maybe I'll need that out of the sideboard. Commune is a nice pickup because I think I'm going to run 16 lands now that I have Commune. Okay. So. What did I take Tails over? I took Tails over something. That was pretty solid. I'll cut the lands for now. Actually, I'll just keep them in. I have 1, 2, 3 lands. I'm going to play 16 lands, I think. I'm going to cut Grafted Growth. I have 3 Greater Tanukis. I just have to play 1 island, I think, to splash the Kaito. Because then I'll have 1 blue source, 2 from the island, 3, 4, 5 from the Tanukis. So Mukotai Ambusher is probably not good enough still. I don't have the enablers to ninjutsu it in cheaply. The silencer is still nice. Because I have You Are Already Dead in the deck, I think I want to keep that in the deck. Scrounger's not particularly great in my deck. How many artifacts do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. So I can cut the Kami. Cut the Scrounger. So, because I'm looking for cheap artifacts, so I have 1 cheap artifact, 2 cheap artifacts, and so that way I can avoid running these Undercity Scroungers. Even though Undercity Scrounger is a sweet combo with Dockside Chef. Okay, so let's think. Could always run the Dockside Chef. I'm going to keep the second season in my sideboard, but I'm going to main deck the first one. I don't need the Grafted Growth. The Scrounger plus Dockside Chef combo is... Oh no, it's not as solid as I was hoping, because if you sack the artifact, you don't get to make a new one, so never mind. The Dockside Chef is still potentially viable. Reckoner's Bargain. So this is 25. This is adding 15 lands, but I'm not going to run 18 lands in this deck. So I have to find a couple of things to add. I could run the Dockside Chef as a cheap way to enable some ninja stuff. Could also run Mukotai Ambusher as just like a lifelinker. I think I don't want to run Reckoner's Bargain and the Dockside Chef. But running one is fine. And then I run 16 lands because I can run Commune to kind of replace a land. And I have these Tanukis that can help me with my mana. Oh my gosh, this is so close. Do I want Reckoner's Bargain or the Dockside Chef? Probably Dockside because it can be used to enable ninjutsu. Also, Mukotai Ambusher as a 4-mana 3/2 lifelinker is not embarrassing. So my lands would be like this, I think. 7, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Because I have 1, 2, then I have 8 green sources and 1, 2, 3, 8 black sources and 2 blue sources, my mana base, 8, 8, 2. I also have a Commune with Spirits to help me find my extra lands, Beseiju, and some ramp, so I don't think I'm going to be struggling with my mana. I also have the Tamiyo Safekeeping that You Are Already Dead, which I don't love main decking. But that I think are strong enough to be worth it in some cases, and this is probably one of them. Man, that stuff. Playing the Clawing Torment is experimental for sure. The Tamiyo Safekeeping in particular is a card that I feel like I'm going to get wrecked for having in my main deck. Though, to be fair, sometimes, if I have it in my main deck, maybe they'll play suboptimally around it, even if I don't have it. So I have black, black, black. So that's 8 black sources. 7, 8 green sources. And 2 blues. Let's just count my cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 black cards. So pretty even split. So how many artifacts do I have again? 1, 2. Yeah, I'm not going to play this Kami. Okay, this deck looks pretty good. I'm going to export it to MTGA, and I will see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my content at patreon.com patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and a special shout out to those at the credits level. If you've never heard of Patreon, it is a site where you, the viewer, can go and pledge an amount of your choosing each month to my content to help me continue to make videos and also gain access to some Patreon exclusive rewards like access to my Neon Dynasty card by card tier list. If Patreon is something that sounds like it would interest you, it's also worth noting that there's no long-term commitment, so you don't have to lock in, and you can check it out, cancel at any time, or rejoin the Patreon if you decide to do so. You can find more information at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, links in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round one. I am facing off against MTG Hall of Famer REID Duke in the first round, obviously with not a keepable hand here. This is REID's deck. He is playing green-red. What are the cards we need to be afraid of? Master's Rebuke is good to know about. Boon of Boseiju as a combat trick. He's got just a great aggro deck, it looks like here. Thundering Raiju as a bomb rare to be afraid of, and Spinning Wheel Kick to be afraid of as well. We will keep this hand. And we will get rid of a Forest. Because we do have a double black 3-drop in our deck. And then we're going to use this to get our island. Maybe this can stem him from attacking me. I don't think he can deal with a walking skyscraper once it's in play. So that's my game plan now. He has Flaming Discharge. So I'm just going to try to get Walking Skyscraper into play as soon as possible. He has 2 Boons of Boseiju. Okay, so I am going to attack him here because I am afraid of the Rabbit Battery slightly. Actually, I'm not really. He doesn't have the mana to use it, so maybe I won't attack. Either way, he's going to know I have the swamp. If he misses another land drop, I think I'll be able to take him down. This is why combat tricks get a lot worse, because Boon of Boseiju is like pretty terrifying as an untap effect. Okay, he hits his land drop. He has all spells in hand. I have the mana to cast the Walking Skyscraper. 3 turns at the latest. Okay. I have 3, 4, 5, 6. He doesn't have a skyscraper. I have a skyscraper. Just trying to get rid of the ways he can push damage with haste. Perfect. I get to get my Greater Tanuki down. And my Boseiju slipping. Then I play Walking Skyscraper. So he used his Iron Hoof Boar. What does that say about his hand? He almost definitely has Boon of Boseiju. He has Thundering Raiju to be afraid of. Unstoppable Ogre as well is kind of scary. And I can stop one of his creatures from blocking. So he's ramping into Spinning Wheel Kick, maybe? No, I wouldn't want that. Jukai Preserver, Thundering Raiju. Because I have Jukai Preserver, I'm fine making this attack. REID Duke never makes it easy. Very tense. He missed so many land drops. So he's probably going to bring in Shattered States Era. He might bring in Story Weave, Favor of Jukai. Fade into Antiquity is certainly coming in for him. Okay. So he's getting season. He's gonna get combat tricks and fades. I'm gonna cut season of renewal. I won't have time to use it, I don't think. How do 1/4 line up against his attackers? Not the greatest. He doesn't have that many 2-drops. On the draw, I don't think I want a 3-mana 1/4. 3/4s line up a little bit better. Nervous. Just trying to cut all my slow cards. Let's hope he has a slow draw. Okay, this is a mulligan. It's kind of close because I have a bunch of 1-drops, but I just can't keep a 1-lander. But just gonna lose me the game in so many spots. Hopefully he mulligans as well. I had to mulligan last game too, and I still emerged victorious, so. He mulligan, but I'm gonna have to mulligan again. In a resource-like game, he might not be able to get there. We're keeping this. Just get rid of my worst cards. Actually gonna keep it like this, maybe. Because Dockside Chef plus You Are Already Dead goes well against his combat tricks. So if he tries to kill it, I can sacrifice it. Mulling to 5 is not ideal. Not ideal. That was the worst 3-drop you could have had for me. Wow, he actually gets to use the rabbit battery. That's crazy. Double elimination. To use Clawing Torment or not to use Clawing Torment, that is the question. Oh, I'm in trouble. Okay. Let's hope we can get a keepable 7 here. We're on the play. That was tough. That was a tough loss. I just, mulling to 5 is no fun. He did mulligan as well, but the Hot Springs is the card that's the scariest for me. Actually, the Raiju's more scary, but luckily he only has 1, 2, 3, 4 2-drops, so he might have another slow start. He likely brought in Fades. Kept in the air of the Ancient Fang. Like, I wonder what he'd cut. Maybe he cut the Boon of Passages. Oh gosh, it'd be good to win this game. Feel like I have a good deck. I feel good about how I've played though. So that's all that matters. It's like solving a puzzle. You don't get to choose what puzzle you're given, you just have to solve it the best you can. And if you don't have all the pieces to solve the puzzle, well then you're just left with a collection of cardboard with some jigs taken out of the saws. I could have sided out my -1/-1 card, but I think it could be good if he doesn't have the Invigorating. Gonna keep this. Jugai training plus Tammy safekeeping is good. Oh, he mulliganed too. Lots of mulligans on both sides with this one. Please no Raiju, please no Raiju, please no Raiju, please no Raiju. Oh man, did he miss a land drop? Let's go. Nuki coming down next turn with safekeeping backup soon. Okay, he didn't hit a mountain, so no Raiju. And he's on the back foot, so I get to attack him with my Tamiyo safekeeping when I deem it fit to do so. He does have Shattered States era. He might have brought in. I don't think he would, though. The Jukai Preserver is pretty good with Bunu Beseiju. Because it gets +4/+4. Yep. Why would he hold up a red mana? Voltage Surge? Or Flame Discharge? Wish I'd drawn a land that turn. He's probably planning my demise. He has 5 mana and he did nothing on his turn. What does he have? Double red cards? Let me read Flame Discharge. X damage to target creature if you control modified creatures X plus 2. So if he plays it for 3 mana, he does 4 damage. If he spends all his mana, he does 6. So it's X plus 2. So if he has 2 Boon of Besejus, he can do 12 to me. I need to do this now in case he has Master's Rebuke. Because he has exactly Master's Rebuke and Voltage Surge. Could have Master's Rebuke. So I've got 4 creatures coming through. Yes! Oh my gosh, a hard-fought battle. But we take down the Hall of Famer, and we're one step closer to eternal glory. Oh my gosh. I've never played against REID Duke before. Actually, maybe I played against REID Duke in a random pairing before. But oh my gosh, playing against REID Duke in a tournament setting and taking him down. Let's go! Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Well fought by REID Duke. He got mana screwed and he mulliganed a lot. And, I mean, I mulliganed a lot too in the first couple rounds. But yes! Oh my gosh, 1-0 in the showdown. I'll see you folks in the second round. Hello, everyone, and welcome to round 2. We're playing against Matty, which is After Office TTV. And we will play first. Let's show you his deck. His deck is so good that he's not playing Jin-Gitaxias Progress Tyrant. So that's an indication. He's got like 3 of the Mechanauts. He's got this Mech Titan core. His deck is absurdly aggressive. It looks like just super high synergy. He's got Lizard Blades. So I can't believe anyone would run Mnemonic Sphere over the Jin-Gitaxias, but I'm a little worried. And we have a solid hand here. Maybe we can ramp up and outsize him. Hope he mulligans a little bit. Because his deck's potentially the best one in the entire pod. Let's go. He's mulliganing. We won the die roll. So it's going to be a hard-fought one, but we're going to do our very best. But we might not be able to emerge victorious against such a... Like, his deck looks insane. Like, I can't imagine not playing Jin-Gitaxias. Okay, Kamano faces Kakazan. Yep, Mechanaut. Certainly going to ramp with a Tanuki here. Then try to get this Boseiju down. His weakness may be removal. He doesn't really have removal for big creatures. But so if Boseiju can flip and we can survive that long, maybe that will give us a chance. Gotta be said that this guy's probably got, like, the best deck in the field. Sometimes it be like that. You gotta find a way. Sure. So we have 1 black mana, 1 green. We're gonna have plenty of green from this Boseiju. So this next turn, I'm taking 6. I have to get Boseiju rolling. It's my only chance of dealing with the Mechanaut, really. But he's going to clock me for 11 this turn, so I'm probably just dead. Unless he doesn't have a creature big enough to crew it. But at the very least, he's hitting me for 8. Lizard's Blades. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm just straight up dead. It reconfigures for 2. Yep. He killed me on turn 4. On the draw. Yep, that is not good. That is not good at all. That could be okay. I don't understand how my deck went down to 39. Oh, I also cut this thing. I'm gonna do this. That's just not true, Zeladonio. That you're just being pessimistic, and I don't really like it in the chat. It's just not true. This is that was an insane curve, though. I mean, his deck is way better than mine. That's just how it goes sometimes. Okay, well, I drew both of my splash cards. I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, we'll keep it. Get rid of a swamp. This deck is insane. Okay. This will be a good time for my Planeswalker to show up. We're in it. Hopefully they don't rip a creature. That's unlucky. Somewhat unfortunate the way this has worked out. Like, him drawing a creature on that turn was not good for me, but overall this game has played out pretty well. Yes. Yes! And we can give it lifelink. Back with all of them. Probably gonna go block. I should have put the lifelink thing on it. Actually, I maybe should have attacked with Gloom Shrieker too. I'm gonna do this just so I can like try to pull further ahead. There's some big options I could hit. I know dealing 8 damage is appealing, but so is this. Well, I did 3 damage, and I also killed one of their things, and I could have hit like a Tanuki or something. Oh, no. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. 1, 2, 3. So it's other artifact creatures. So they have 1 artifact creature. So they're not that close to that yet. So how much toughness they have? They have 3, 5, 7 toughness total. They block all onto the skyscraper. I have some menace too. 7 toughness, or they can block with that, and they have up to 9 toughness. I might unequip this, attack all, see what happens. Vehicles. So they cannot cast right now. Huge. Oh, that's why they're playing the vehicles, to enable the mech titan. So I have 2, 4, 7 attackers there, plus 8 with trample. They're going to block this with... And I can discard the Greater Tanuki to kill the Mechanaut if my Silencer hits them. Yes! He takes game 2, and they're headed to the final round. I think maximum greed orientation is what I must do. So I will do that. Taking a game off of that deck is so difficult. Maybe he'll side in Gingipaxius. Maybe. I don't know why you wouldn't play that card. But I guess his deck is cheap. I'm just so worried. Oh, man. It would be so nice to win this game. The problem is based on this bracket system. Let's just show you how the bracket works. If I lose this, I fall down to here, I think. Oh, no, Ben Stark lost too. Kyle Rose is a good player. But yeah, so if I lose this, I think I fall down to this one. And then I'll have to play one of these 2 guys again at some point, maybe. I think the loser of this one goes down to here. Into 3. But if I win, I'll play maybe the Ham or... Gosh. But I might have to play Ben Stark. We'll see. Or I'll just win and I'll play against Sam Black or something. So I'm on the draw. This will be a good time for my Ninja Planeswalker to take over. Yes. Easy keep. Yes, any mulligan. We have a chance! Maybe he'll mulligan again. We are 1-0 in the final game of round 2. He has maybe a close keep. This is one where we just hope that our Kaito Shizuki can carry us. Maybe Clawing Torment can kill something. We really need to hit a Black Source off this Commune with Spirits. We had to take down REID Duke, and now we're facing off against After Office TTV. His deck is insane. His deck is so good, he's got Jinja Taxis in the sideboard. That's like such a power move. Okay, of course he has Kamano faces Kakazan in his opener. Looking for a swamp. And we find it. Not ideal. Gotta be said.
There are many secrets I don't know, but not for long. I've got all kinds of connections.
You can double block Kamano.
There's no secret I can't uncover.
I did my best. If he doesn't draw Kamano teaching Kakazan in his opener, I think I can maybe win. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, his deck is insane. My deck put up a good fight, though. Good fight. See you folks next round. Hello and welcome to another round in this tournament. Our tournament lives are on the line and we're facing none other than Ben Stark, the legendary drafter. So we are going to be doing our utmost to defeat him. Fortunately, we have to mulligan this. We just don't want to just lose to not casting a single spell all game. This hand is much better. So we'll keep it and we will ditch. I think the Skyscraper. Let's see, does his deck have answers to Skyscraper? Yes, he has 2 Fall of Lord Condos. He's got a very aggressive deck, it looks like. He's got the Goshen Ties. Maybe this is just my win con. I think I'm gonna have to ditch it. Sad to lose the Nashi, but at least we're digging deeper towards actual spells. This is not going great so far. We are flooding, but such is life. We lead sometimes. Do the best with what you got. Spade into Antiquity Sorcery. I just don't want him to know I have this. I can usually spade into 3 mana all at once to use it. And he might have something like a Kappa Tech Wrecker to kill it. Yeah, it's that card, right? Yeah, Kappa Tech Wrecker. So you have Combat Tricks, Wanderer's Intervention. Yeah, so he does have the Kappa Tech Wrecker. I can't even get back my 3-2 because Kappa Tech Wrecker just kills it for free. That was unfortunate. Let's see what adjustments we can make. It's got a lot of 2-drops. So that's good to know. One 4 seemed to line up well against him. I want all my early drops. I think I can outsize him generally. Gonna keep it and hope to draw a land. Certainly my best hope. Hoping to get this Boseiju going. Do that into draw land. Do you have any white ninjas? No, he does not. So it looks like we're going to be able to win this one, probably. These colors screwed. I was hoping he wouldn't draw a forest, because I was hoping he wouldn't have Kappa Tech Wrecker. But I did have a plan for it. Two to the top is not a great sign. You could have Fall of Lord Konda, that would be bad. He doesn't have any combat tricks other than Light the Way. You do something crazy with like Coiling Stalker where he like exiles the Coiling Stalker, exiles another thing. I like gets the Capture Tech Wrecker back, kills my Tanuki. I'm not attacking with Ink Rides because I don't want them to be able to attack me and get their Kappa Tech Wrecker back into hand by ninjutsuing something else with it. I'm confident we can win this one. Coiling Stalker. He's got Geothermal Kami. This Clawing Torment isn't the best in this matchup, but it'll get the job done. I think. At least I think it will. Yeah, so he's going to bring his guy back. Yep. He could still be winning this game if he has a Wanderer Strike and he saves it. He has a Master's Rebuke? I did not see that. Okay, he does have a Master's Rebuke. I mean, I guess he just played it against me. Okay, getting ready for round 3. None of his creatures are that sizable. So I think I'm fine leaving this thing on the sidelines. Just gonna run it like this again. Hoping he has a slow start, hoping I have a good hand, hoping nobody has to mulligan except him. Oh gosh. This is awesome. Game 3 against Ben Stark in the tournament. Backs to the wall, on the draw. Man, this is destiny. The power of the dark side of the force. It's so slow, but I have to keep it. It's got both my colors. It's got stuff to do on turn 3. I don't have any of my early drops, but I could technically draw them. This is tough. It's not the best hand, but it's like marginal enough that I have to keep it because I can go Tanuki on turn 3, Gloom Shrieker, get back Tanuki, play the Tanuki on turn 5. He mulligans. Yeah. Yikes. His deck has the real potential for crushing me in the early turns. Land is not what I wanted to see. 2-drop, 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 2-drop. Aw, man. Of course he has the Stalker, because he has like 3 of them. Big draw. Never lucky. Oh, man. It would be so nice to have drawn something cheap. But I don't have that many cheap cards, so I can't really complain. I have like 4. Oh, man. Sure. Just playing the slowest deck ever. Still think I have to ramp with Tanuki, then double spell with Gloom Shrieker and Jukai Trainee. If I'd drawn this a turn earlier, I think I would be in the game. As it is, I'm in so much trouble. I don't really have good outs to this. Any interaction and I'm toast. He has 2 Fall of Lord Condas in his deck, so he probably has one of those. The 2 life from safekeeping could be really handy. I have a feeling he's got the Saga that kills my guy. Yeah. Just toast. Oh, man. That was bad. Oh, man. Just tough. I did my best, but yeah, I couldn't mulligan that hand, but it was a really bad hand. Oh, well. Yeah, the tech record destroyed me. Basically, I'm really bad at weak to tech record, and so the fact that he had it all 3 games made them really hard. I needed to draw like a Clawing Torment to kill his 2/1, or a 2-drop to block, or a Fade into Antiquity. Yeah, I did my best. My seat was tough in the draft. I played 3 really close matches. Barely edged out REID Duke. Kind of got nut drawed twice against after Office TTV. His deck is sick though. And then against Ben Stark. I mean, his deck is pretty cool too. Cap Tech Wrecker is just so good against me that it was really hard to beat. I knew he had fall. Oh gosh, could I have done anything differently? I could have played my Jukai trainee a little earlier. Like I could have played the 2/2 to try and block his Coiling Stalker on the turn that I ramped with my Greater Tanuki. That was definitely an option. But I was so focused on the Tanuki play that once I played my Swamp and couldn't hold up my Tameo safekeeping to make sure the play worked, it just made more sense to not play the trainee. Also, he still would have hit me for 3, and then I wouldn't have been able to deploy my Greater Tanuki at all. My Gloom Shrieker wouldn't have been able to get any card back. So it would have just been really inefficient mana-wise. He just had a great draw, good deck, and that's how it goes sometimes. If you were watching on YouTube and you made it all the way to the end of the video, remember to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more draft content. Comment below with your questions, thoughts, and feedback. Was not able to cash the tournament or make it into the top 4, but the deck was pretty cool, I think. I don't know if the Nashi was very good for me. Boseiju was a bit slow for this meta. I didn't have enough 2-drops to maybe support it, but I feel like I also had a decent amount of cheap plays, and I just had my first game against Ben, the draws were just not great, and so I just didn't really get to play the first game at all. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, remember to comment and all that stuff, and if you made it all the way to the end, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag battling the Hall of Fame, because we played against 2 Hall of Famers, went 1-1 against them. It was a hard-fought endeavor, and just did not emerge victorious. If you would like to support my content, you can do so via Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, linked in the description below. You can also find the Discord server, the Twitch stream, my articles, all that good stuff linked in the description as well. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you next time.